Today's video, I'm going to start a series of Manny Pacquiao tactics and techniques that he used to use. And I got one of the all-time great lightweight champions of the world that I used to train, Paul Spadafora, to demonstrate with me here today. And what we're going to talk about is a fight that Manny Pacquiao, when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, and how he used his head movement, his shoulder trajectory that I'm always talking about. And I break this all down in my instructional videos, how he had that foundation when he was coming at the guy and he was facing the guy, that he had his right shoulder higher than his left shoulder. He had his head over his left leg, and that's where his foundation of his balance was, okay? And Oscar didn't have that. Oscar was left-handed, and he fought orthodox. So Oscar would square up a lot. He had a great left hook, he had a great jab, but he didn't have a great right hand. He's one of the exceptions of the guys that didn't have this foundation that I always talk about most all-time greats had. So this is a prime example on why a guy that has the foundation that I'm talking about can exploit and can take advantage over a guy that doesn't have it, okay? And he took advantage of Oscar all day with this, okay? So Oscar was lean. He had his head over his left leg a lot more, okay? His head was not with the foundation that Paul had and Pacquiao had, okay? So one of the things that Pacquiao would do is he would mesmerize you and get you in a visual pattern with his head movement, okay? So what he did and one of the one move we're going to show you here today is he moved his head he would get you in a pattern watching and visually watching his head. And Oscar would be squared up, and the way Pacquiao would do it is as Oscar was always trying to get in position, okay, to be able to get to Pacquiao, but because he's squared up, and even though he was shorter, Pacquiao's down there and he had that angle, okay? The angle's where he's more pointed and Oscar's more squared up. Okay, so what Pacquiao would do is he would use head movement, left and right, right and left, right and left. So what he did in this instance is he made 5 head movements. And then he set a pattern where you're following that pattern, where you think he's going to move back there, and then he stops and throws the left hand. So examples what he's doing here that's Pacquiao moves to the right. Then he gives him a foot feint, and he dips his head to the left. Okay, then he moves to the right, then he moves to the left again. Then he moves to the right, and he stops. Milliseconds, he stops. So in your mind, if you're Oscar, he thought that Pacquiao might move back to the left. So what happens is we're going to start to do it again. He's going to go right, then he's left, then he goes right, left, right. He stops right there. Oscar thinks he's going to go back that way. Pacquiao steps and throws the left hand right down the middle on him, and then he pivots out. Okay, so what he's doing there is he's changing his shoulder trajectory when he dips. So in other words, he's in that position, right shoulder's higher than the left, okay? He's back there, he's got that shoulder more pointed. Oscar's more squared up. He gets squared up trying to get to Pacquiao, okay? Because he's not used to sitting back and getting an angle. Oscar was a guy who he would square up and be on his left leg. So he's trying to get to this guy that's more angled, who has that left shoulder lower than his right shoulder, okay? And what happens is, when he makes that head movement, okay, Oscar's also, because he's squared up and because he's at an angle, what's happening to Oscar is he's trying to get to Pacquiao, and when he's trying to get to Pacquiao, instead of using his height and reach, he's trying to be aggressive because he's squared up. And now this guy got the angle, so what he's doing is he's trying to step to him, and he actually Pacquiao gets his right foot on the outside of the left because of the angle, okay? Because Oscar doesn't know how to fight at an angle. So in order for him to get to him, he's squaring up and he's trying to get to him, and he's trying to get to him, okay? He's being aggressive in this fight. So Oscar has a hard time being the outside fighter in this fight because Pacquiao has such good footwork and he has that angle, okay? And he's able to make those moves where Oscar can't keep him on the end of his reach because of Manny's stance and Manny's footwork, okay? So here we go. In this instant, what we're going to show, and I got a clip of it to show you guys what we're talking about. He goes right, he goes left, That's it. When he makes that left move, he gives him a little feint too to stick him. And he goes there, and then he goes there, and Oscar thinks maybe he's going to go back that way, and he throws it. And when he throws it, he steps with his right foot, and then he pivots out, and he gets on the outside of Oscar's left shoulder. Okay, so then he could shoot. He's totally always turning him and manipulating him because he gets that outside angle, and he gets him mesmerized with his head movement, and he got the speed in his fight and the footwork. Okay, so what Paul's doing and what Manny did is, like I said, right shoulder's higher than the left. So when he goes that way, just to break down the fundamentals of it, when he goes that way, right shoulder drops. Now the left shoulder's higher. And when he goes this way and he feints it, he feinted it with his foot. Right shoulder's higher. Then he goes left. Then he goes right. Every time the shoulder trajectory is changing. Then when he goes here, he's not thinking that maybe he can throw a left hand from here because has his weight more here, but he's not putting his weight forward. He's just dropping the shoulder trajectory. He's not leaning where his head is past his knee. He's just dipping this way. And instead of going back that way where his power would be there, he still had power in his hands, and he's able to twist and throw that shot and get on the inside, on the outside, and then pivot. Boom, and then pivot out. See? So that's what he's doing right there. So we'll break it down one more time. So he goes right, he goes left, he goes right, he goes left, he goes right, he shoots, boom, and gets his foot on the outside. So that's just, like I said, if you watch what he's doing there with his shoulder trajectory and the way he's turning his hips, he's not going north and south with his hips. The only time he goes north and comes forward is when he throws that last left hand. He uses the footwork to step while he punches. So in other words, when he's here with this head movement, he's dropping this way, waist is turning, okay? He's going to turn his waist, okay, from left to right. Then he's going from right to left, then vice versa again, and then vice versa again. He does it 4 times, and then the 5th time when he does it, he's there, and then he steps and punches. When he steps, that's right, he doesn't reach with the left hand. He's going to step with his right foot, step with his left foot, and pivot out. Okay, so do it one more time. So he's going right, left, right, steps and punches, boom, and pivots out. So as you notice, when he takes that step, he's getting his foot almost all the way up by by the middle of my foot. So now he's got that angle to get around me. And Paul used to do that. He used to love to put his hands on you and turn you. So he's really going to turn you because you have no choice because he's grabbing your hips. And like I tell you, that's what punching is all with the hips. So if I turn your hips, I turn your head, your body's going to move, okay? Anytime a guy turns your hips, so there's just another little trick we added to it. Okay, so if he's going there, and he throws that left hand, and he turns you. Just by turning my hips. So there's a great move for you guys to be able to go into the gym and practice. Check out the clip. Don't forget to comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of the video, and I'll see you guys next time.
Back down till I'm all that remains. Put my money where my mouth is, and I put the proof with the claim. Put my enemies where the ground is, got a face down in the grain. Dominate your terrain, leave a path full of flames. You ain't never took a real loss, that's about to be arranged.